You know what's funny? When you're by yourself and you fart and you just know how deadly that shit is. I once peed in class on an exam because
what?
In class
You do what?
peed
In class? On yourself?
on myself and I was like this push-up. I was like,
Turn off
I'm
the
looking
lights
for
in
her.
here, baby. Oh no, different songs.
different song.
We did that yesterday.
We're just never in
We
sync.
did that yesterday. We sang like what was it?
You were singing. I was singing Justin Timberlake, and you were singing something to do with way back. It's an
Trying
R&B
to
song.
find my way back, way
You
back
were singing that song. I was
to
singing.
you, to us, to love.
We are just never in sync. We're never on the same page.
We're reading the same book, just different chapters.
Different chapters.
Same book, different
It's
chapters.
okay. It's okay. It's okay. It is what it is. Okay. All right. So, you want us to basically come up with a phrase.
Because I do want to read more confessions.
Confessions,
Because that's it.
yeah.
We're all called too anonymous.
Yeah.
Because we keep things too anonymous.
But not too anonymous.
Yeah, because we're here.
We're
But
right here.
we're here so you don't have to be. That we're actually going to put some on our Instagram as well for you guys to put your confessions in there as well. Because we know the tea.
We need
You know the tea. The tea is always
I think
boiling.
we might, yeah. As our page grows, we might have to. We don't necessarily have to open a Twitter account for our page. We could just use a hashtag.
Yeah.
We could use a hashtag. We need to find a shorter hashtag because our name is it's lengthy.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to find a shorter hashtag so that we could use that for people's
It's
confessions.
an anonymous P.
Anonymous P?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe 2AP.
2AP.
Hash 2AP. We could make that.
Write that down. That's good stuff.
Or we
Good
could
stuff.
write good stuff.
That's good stuff. Good stuff.
2AP.
2AP.
I think that's the shortest because we need something that's quick.
Quick and just type it up real quick. But we're gonna start off with this anonymous person. Basically, he said, "I cheated on my current girlfriend of 2 years with this girl I knew for almost a year.
Okay.
Now I'm in love with both of them, but I know I have to choose to move forward in life. What should I do?"
First of all, anyway, I think he should leave the first girlfriend.
Doing 3 years?
Look, if you're going to leave your girlfriend
Uh-huh.
to cheat and say, okay, you willingly leave your house and cheat, then I don't think you should be with that person. So you don't like that person. So you need to move on and be with the person that you cheated with, in my opinion.
But he's in love with both.
But if you could leave the first time, then you shouldn't be with the first person you left.
So you think that he should leave with the girl he cheated with,
Yeah.
and then start another relationship with someone else?
Yeah. Yeah. But my thing is if you're gonna do that every single time, that's a problem.
You think you're a serial cheater?
That's a problem because it's that's just who you are because you're gonna find someone else. Okay, so that's the problem. But I just hope you don't find yourself in that predicament.
But you never know. People are down for
They're
thruples.
down for whatever.
People are down for thruples nowadays. Thruples are they're
as in-
much more popular.
Like having three,
A throuple, like a 3-person relationship.
that is crazy. That crazy.
I mean, the past it worked. David did it.
They did it, but they were not happy about that.
He said they were always arguing all the time.
They
I
were
promise you.
always arguing about that. But now people willingly do it. Before it was a norm, but I don't think some people were even happy about they just did it. They're like, okay,
They're like, I guess it's just how it has to be.
I guess this is how it has to be. I guess I have to prove myself to be the best for Solomon. So, because Solomon had 1,000 wives.
And like even more concubines.
So I'm sure it was like a battle of who's the best wife every single time.
Who could be the best today?
Who's the best today? Wow. So that was the situation with Big Solo. He did his big one.
Big Solo?
Big Solo did his big one.
Solo, he did, bro. And so did the man Genghis Khan, bro.
Who, David?
Genghis Khan.
Who is that?
You know who Genghis Khan is? He was this conqueror, bro, in like Asia. He conquered he was one of the greatest conquerors of all time. Basically, bro, I don't know this, don't quote me on this, but I think 3% of the world is his direct descendants.
His what now?
His direct descendants.
What that is crazy.
3% of the it could be more. I don't say 3%, but it's
So you're telling me that this man has a population of kids out there?
Mm-hmm.
How do you even keep up with that? He's Nick Cannon Sr.
But he has so many.
He had so much money?
Let's see. Since 2003, a study found evidence that Genghis Khan's DNA is present in about 16 million men alive today.
That is not a good thing. Anyway,
He was busy, bro. He was
a busy man. You get it how you live it. Okay.
Really.
So do you have another confession?
I do. This man was like, this is for from a female. Mm-hmm. Or this is from another dude. But it says, I have a girl who I have a girl who is low-key not my girl.
Okay.
She's cheating on her man with me. While we were out the other day, she got another man's number. She looked at me and she just said, you know what I'm like. He said, and I can't argue because, she is who she is, but it still made her mad.
That is insane. You need to work out of that. That is crazy.
This is not a good thing.
That is not a good thing for you. How did you settle down for that?
Bro, so as you could have, first of all, lady, have some decorum.
Decorum.
You could have at least been behind my back. We're talking to the bathroom or something. You couldn't wait to get this man's number?
So what did you say? This is my brother?
Buying you drinks and stuff?
He's just here. Don't mind him.
Don't mind him. He's just a friend.
That is insane.
You say he's just a friend.
He is.
You say he's just a friend. Oh, baby, you got what I need.
Got what I need.
Bugging, bro. But yeah, no. Hard pass. Hey, homeboy, listen, get out of there. She ain't the one for you.
It's not worth it.
You're tripping out, bro.
That is crazy. This reminds me, when I used to do confessions on my TikTok or whatever, mm-hmm. Someone sent me one crazy confession. I was blown away, and nothing blows me away.
So said, this I'll never forget.
Lady, you need to calm down.
What happened?
So basically, this girl had a boyfriend, and apparently this boyfriend was so good to her. It was so good to her, but she found a job in another town. Oh. I'm out of town, running around.
Right.
Okay, so she found a job out of town, and so her boyfriend was like, "Okay, fine, I'm gonna help you move to the city, and you said you could, start working, blah blah blah." So he helped them move. And then when she was moving into the house, she was like, they were roommates and whatever. So they saw this guy in the house. He was one of the roommates. Oh. And so sometimes guys can sense other guys.
Yeah.
So when the boyfriend saw that guy while she was moving, he was helping her move into that mm-hmm. house. He was like, you should be careful of that guy.
Right.
He just looked at that guy and he could just sense that guy is not
like he could smell scumbag.
He could sense some things. Mm-hmm. Okay. So he told his girlfriend, just be careful and blah blah blah. So he helped her move, and then he moved back to where he was staying because he was working in another city. So she settled down, blah blah blah, and then she never really saw that guy again because they had different schedules. And then one time when she was coming back from work, she ran into him in the house, and they had a conversation. They had some drinks. It ended there. Okay.
Right. Okay.
It ended there. But then the next time they linked up, it didn't end there.
Oh.
They had drinks and they had sex, and then she was like, "Oh, I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. Blah 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 blah." Okay, but it didn't end there. At her job, she found this guy that she really liked, and they started fucking as well. They were fucking, so she was.
While she still has her boyfriend.
While she still has a boyfriend in another city.
Oh no.
Okay, so she was effing with her roommate, effing with her coworker, and then she met with another guy at a work party, and she was messing with this guy as well.
Listen.
It was a whole mess, and then she ended up getting pregnant. But she was like, "Oh, well, it's not my roommate. It's the last person I had sex with, and that's the person at work or whatever." So I'm like, first of all, you was road dogging these niggas every other day.
It's crazy.
And now you're pregnant and you don't really know who the dad is. And you have a whole boyfriend in another city. That's a problem.
He finna be like, listen, I know it ain't mine.
He's gonna be like, first of all, this is too much.
Consecutive?
Yeah, consecutive. You have all these other boyfriends, all these other side dudes, and now you're pregnant. I don't know if he could take you back.
No.
He would never take you back. So I was thinking, you know what, you need to be single. That's what you need to be. Because your lifestyle is that of a single person.
You're living a single person lifestyle.
Thank you.
No, Sam, that's crazy.
That was so crazy. I read that. I was like, girl, like, I was like, this is too much.
This gotta be anonymous.
I was never gonna judge you, but let me just judge you right now.
Sam said, look, listen. I'm not gonna judge you, but other people are gonna judge you.
Other people are gonna.
Other people are gonna judge you for sure. I'm not gonna do it.
Everyone was asking for a part 2.
That's it.
I was like, I need to know what happened after that.
Did you reach back out to the girl and ask her?
I had to text her. Listen, everyone's asking for a part 2. We need a part 2.
What'd she say?
She sent the part 2 and she basically said, well, I haven't told my boyfriend yet and I haven't figured out what to do. And I was like, listen, the first thing you need to do is start living a single life.
Yeah. You need to break up with him immediately. Like, just be done with him already. Be done with him. Do not even say it's his kid. Mm-hmm. He won't believe you. Yeah. And then he's going to beat you up. So just don't even involve him. Just break up with him. He's in a whole nother city. You've been living single this whole time.
Yeah, you've been a single lady.
And guess what? DNA test all 3 of those men and just figure something out because that loyal boyfriend of yours, he deserves better. He deserves. Let him go.
He deserves better, and he helped you move to your new job. He didn't know he was moving you to chaos. That's what I'm saying.
He didn't know he was moving her to singlehood,
to a single life.
He had no idea.
He was like, "Let's turn this shit up." Anyway, so
that's crazy, bro.
Okay, so welcome back to the Two Anonymous podcast. You guys already know we're always cooking up something good on this podcast. Okay, I am your host, of course, Big Sam,
and your co-host Bashari.
All right, so this particular episode is basically, we have a lot of it's centered around reading out a lot of confessions.
The anonymous confessions.
Yeah, so I'm sure we'll get into other things, but we're going to get into a lot of confessions, mostly for this episode, okay? So you guys just stay tuned, and what's the next secret you have for us today?
So this one's about, like, this guy's friend, right?
Okay.
It's his kid, and he's talking his dad.
Okay.
So basically, my dad is friends with his neighbor, who is a white supremacist. When sober, he's less racist than when he's drunk. This man said, talking about don't tell people I recently voted for Obama.
That is nuts. That is not that bad.
This man said, don't tell. I think it's this. If you're a racist, if you're a super white supremacist and you're racist and you voted for Obama.
So basically he meant that he's so racist that he kind of voted for Obama?
No, the opposite. So he's a white supremacist. So it says this. He's a white supremacist when sober, but gets less racist when he's drunk.
Okay.
Talking about don't tell my people I secretly voted for Obama.
That is crazy, Bushari. That is crazy.
Listen, bro. Listen, we accept you.
Come
home. Just come on with us, bro. Come on, bro. Look, I like rednecks. I like trucks.
It's like
I like mud riding. I like
come to the cookout.
Come on, you don't gotta hide behind that white cloak, bro.
Yeah,
you don't gotta hide behind that white cloak, bro. You can be with us.
You can come to the cookout. You can have a good time.
You have a good time, bro. Listen. I've been to Cracker Barrel. Racism tastes delicious. I don't know if you've ever been to Cracker Barrel, but they have like a racist stereotype, bro. But listen, Cracker Barrel is delicious.
Is it like a restaurant?
It's a restaurant.
Okay.
They sell at breakfast.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
And they're like racist? They
have a racist stereotype.
Okay.
It's called Cracker Barrel.
Sometimes you just have to overlook things because 2020, like, people wanted to boycott Starbucks. And I was like, listen, I be going to Starbucks all the time. So I get that you guys want to boycott Starbucks because you think it's a racist corporation. But isn't every other corporation in America racist?
A bad thing?
So it's like, I'm going to get my, I'm going to get
my caramel frappuccino.
My caramel frappuccino and still call them out for their racism,
But same thing with, what's it called? People get mad at me when I go to Chick-fil-A. Listen, I don't care who they support. That chicken is good, man.
Yeah,
the chicken is good. And people are like, oh, well, I'll still eat it as long as I'm not the one who buys it. So what? You're still eating the chicken, but you still admit the chicken is good. I don't want to hear anything, bro.
It is what it is.
It is. This dude, he was like, so this one's kind of a sad story, but not really, bro. It's low-key a good thing.
Okay.
It's like, people like when I'm drunk and stop being shy. But when I'm sober, I think everyone hates me. How do I fix this?
I feel like you don't need to fix that. Because look, that is crazy. So basically, people only like him when he's drunk. He feels like people only like him when he's drunk.
Yeah.
And
he stops being shy.
And he stops being shy. So maybe people just like the fact that he stops being shy. So he could do that when he's not drunk.
But I guess being drunk helps him do it. My thing is this: if that's who you want to be, drink more.
There's really nothing wrong with drinking.
Just drink more. Ain't nothing wrong with it. It's a wine a day keeps the doctor away.
Yeah. So
a glass a day,
But do drink responsibly, okay?
Look, drink it. Yeah, don't drink and drive, kids. Do not drink and drive. But I said, if you're saying that, you know, your friends like you better when you're drunk, I say drink more. But if it's not just because if it's because you're just shy, then, you know, you gotta, you know, work on that.
You have to work on that.
Yeah, work on that.
Because you can't be without alcohol every single time.
Yeah.
That's
you can't always rely on alcohol because, you know,
that's
after a while.
Addiction. That is addiction.
Yeah.
That is not
That's addiction. After a while, man, you're gonna be on the side of the street, but with no friends at all.
With no
because
friends.
you can't stop drinking.
They'll send you to the rehab.
Literally.
That is not a good place.
You'll be linking up with what's that one girl's name? Demi Lovato in rehab.
Demi,
poor Demi. This is a good one too. This is a cheater as well. I said we don't condone cheating. Boo on the cheaters, bro.
Not.
Don't play. This he says, bro, I really messed up. I got drunk at a party, hooked up with this girl. I got a girlfriend. I love my girl. And this other girl is threatening to tell her, and I can't let my girlfriend find out. Help me, please.
I was going to say it's a bit similar to the other one you read, but...
Yeah, the last guy wanted to keep both of them.
No,
he fell in love.
This is not a... Ooh.
This guy cheated on his girlfriend.
I fell in love with 2 girls at one time.
And they're 10s.
Crazy. And they're 10s. That is crazy. Okay, so anyway.
So basically, he cheated on his girlfriend and got drunk.
Okay.
The girl he cheated on her with wants to tell his girlfriend
about
that he cheated.
The thing. She just wants to ruin things. Okay. First of all, she is in cahoots. Yeah. She wants that man because I feel like
she's trying to mess him up. I don't think she wants him.
No, she does want him because she's threatening. Mm-hmm. You hear that? Threatening to tell that. Mm-hmm. So basically, why she's threatening is if she wants that guy to break up with the girl.
Yeah.
And then he could be with her. She would never have a problem with her.
Or maybe she's one of those girls who like girl code. You know, she's like. I wouldn't want someone to treat me like that, so I want someone to tell me the truth.
Really?
Type beat. Girls be at that. Girls like, I'm going to tell the truth. I'm like...
No. That is not... I've never heard of... no.
Girls do that, bro. But my advice to homeboy, bro, you got to fess up, bro. Tell her before she tells her, bro.
Because it's both.
Yeah. Now we lose both. Since they're trying to say one, but it's better for her to hear from you than her to find out from another female. Because maybe you could do some damage control. Maybe you can, get a hold of the story before the story gets out of control.
Look. When it comes to cheating and stuff like that, I don't know how people manage to come back from that. Like cheating is so bottom barrel. It's so bottom, but like people never actually think about how bad it is. But it's so bad. So I would never advise any human being to take their partner back after cheating. I don't even care if you have like 5 kids together. They need to go. Yeah.
I was saying, I feel like a lot of the time, unpopular opinion, I feel like a lot of time people treat cheaters like they're not human beings.
They're not.
They are. There's a reason for what they did. It could be, there is. Like I said, not all the time. Sometimes people are just serial cheaters. They want to cheat because
there will never be a good reason for you to step out of your house, especially if you're married. Mm-hmm. Step out of your house after having a whole wedding and people witnessing that wedding just for you to go and dips and dabble and somebody else's titties. It's just not.
So what if you're like in an abusive relationship?
Let's
not do the extreme. Let's say like this. Let's say you've been. I said there's some kind of like mental breakdown relationship. Say there's like no communication. No, it's like there's no communication. You guys aren't having sex anymore. You guys are like having like a really rough patch going for like a couple of years. You're trying to make it work.
It breaks up for years, Bushai. That's
no. It's not a breakup. Like I said, like
you've been going through a lot.
Yeah, you guys been going through a lot in a relationship for years. You've been trying to communicate that they won't communicate with you. Mm-hmm. Things like that. Like I said, there's some kind of breakdown in the relationship.
Okay.
Right, and then the person goes out and they go and like they cheat on you. Right, I said, and they cheat on you. Mm-hmm. I feel like, don't get me wrong, it's not okay.
Okay.
But I did feel like there's a reason behind what they did. And like that reason should be explored. Like I said, if we've had a breakdown in our relationship, homegirl been trying to reach out to you, trying to talk to you, trying to ask to have you back, and then she goes somewhere else and gets the attention that she's been begging from someone else,
Okay.
I think there could be like a moment of weakness in that person's, like morale or that person's resolve. You know what I mean? And then not saying it's excused, but I'm saying like, I definitely see like from the outside looking in. If I'm the person in the relationship, I'm mad.
Okay.
Regardless, I'll never go. But from the outside looking in, I'm like, okay, I see how. I see how this happened.
To step out. Okay.
Yeah, I see how this happened. Now, some people are just serial cheaters. Some people just cannot. They can see some girl walking by and fold.
Yeah, it's like
they can't help themselves.
I want that.
Literally, and they go get it.
I want her. And
literally,
I want her. Literally. And some of you, okay, my thing is people that cheat. Like, if you're gonna cheat, just cheat on someone that actually looks better than your wife, because a lot of the times you guys be cheating on your wives
with bums, bro.
And it is, it's very much gorilla.
See, this guy right here, I promise you, he said I got drunk at a party, hooked up with this girl. I can guarantee you she's a bum.
Absolutely.
But I can guarantee you no fine female is going to worry about, first of all, how she even find out? How she find out you had a girlfriend?
No, girls are FBI.
Certified.
Listen, there's some girls in this world that if they need to find out something or find out someone, they will find out. So,
literally. Hey, pro tip. This is some good juice. If you ever get text from a random number, you don't know who it is, but you want to find out before you text them, copy and paste their number into Cash App, and it'll tell you what their name is.
That is crazy.
They'll tell you exactly who they are.
You really can't hide nothing no more.
You can't. I do. That's why I got Cash App. I don't use Cash App 'cause I'm not a criminal. I don't use Cash App, but when I want to look someone up, put that thing in Cash App, bro.
That is crazy. Because that happened to me one time. I picked up a wallet in Walnut Creek. I picked up a wallet in this like apartment lobby or whatever, and I was like, let me try and find the person that dropped this wallet. Okay, I tried to look around the building. There was no one coming back for the wallet, and I was like, I need to go. Okay, so I started looking through his cards. Found so much of his cards. There was like 12 cards. His business cards, credit cards, blah, blah, blah. None of them had his phone number on it. So I got his name and tried to look it up on Instagram.
You wasn't playing. You was looking for this man.
Because if I lost my wallet, I would want someone to return it back to me.
Try hard.
Yeah, just put the effort. I'm like, okay, let me try putting 2 names. So I put in his 2 names because he had 4 names. Put in his 2 names, then an IG page popped up. Okay, it was a private account, and the face looked similar like the one on the driver's license. But then I'm like, okay, let me DM them. So I tried DMing them, and I tried calling them through Instagram. No pickup. And I'm like, okay, listen, let me just text them. I found something that belongs to you. Just text me back or call me. And then like an hour or 2 later, he called me like, oh, I found this message, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, okay, I found your wallet, blah, blah, blah. And then I linked up with him. Then I gave him back the wallet. Then he gave me $120. I first denied. I was like, oh, no, you don't have to do that. But deep down in my heart, I was like,
thank you.
I was like, you don't know what you did.
That's gas money.
I need gas. And I took that money. I denied only once, okay? Because one thing about me, I'll deny one time. But after
because
that,
I'm nice.
Yeah, but after
because my mom raised me well.
Right. After you insist, then I'll take it.
Literally.
Because I was gonna take it anyway.
I'm just glad you still insisted the second time.
Yeah. Just insist, because if you put it back, I would have listen, actually, let me take that.
So I'd have been like, actually, I was just trying to be nice, but I will actually love that 120.
Because I need to pay gas.
Really?
And yeah, that happened. Okay.
The last one I got, bro. This one's like a little social media question.
Okay.
This asks, how serious do you take social media? Does it sway your opinion in any way? And have you noticed any change in yourself or your personality using social media?
I would say social media does actually influence a lot.
Yeah.
But now I feel like, because now I've grown up a lot. I've grown up. I'm a grown man. Okay, I'm grown, but I'm young, I'm popping, I'm killing it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And
he's Beyonce, y'all. He's a star.
Calm down, I'm a star. But anyway, that's besides the point. That was not what we're talking about here. I'm not a star all the time. Sometimes I give other people time to shine. Okay, so I'm basically saying that sometimes when you use social media, you get influenced without even noticing that you're getting influenced. You'll be like, why am I using this lingo?
Yeah.
Okay, why am I singing this song repeatedly? It just happens. Okay, so I'm not mad at people being influenced by what they see on the internet. But then sometimes I'm like, be original. But then sometimes I'm like, it's okay. So I'm always in the middle. You can follow trends and then sometimes just be original. Because at the end of the day, I feel like everyone that kind of learns from each other.
Yeah. True. But that's that's society in general.
Yeah.
Like the first question was like, how serious do you take social media? I don't take it too seriously.
Yeah.
Because people only just show the best.
They do show the best. But then sometimes the thing with that is like people find comfort in telling themselves that, people are just showing their best lives. Some people are genuinely living their best lives and showing it on the internet. So don't always say that, Bob, you don't believe what you see. If you see Kylie Jenner post her in a Jeep or in a private jet, that's her life. That's what she lives. So but you don't know if she's like having some argument with someone that day, like going through something. I feel like that's what they're talking about. They're more talking about like, yes, you have all these materialistic things, but what comes with those materialistic things? I said money problem. Even though she's a billionaire, she starts to manage all those billions. Like you still have a lot of money to manage. I will take those problems any day.
Of course, but it's like it's still. But I think people say that to soften the blow. Like they still have problems. Like Kylie Jenner may look like she's having the glamorous life and doing this and doing that, but she still has problems like everyone else does. Like they may not be the same problems or as the same as that problem, but they're still problem nonetheless.
Okay, yeah, I get that. I just
they look happy all the time, but like there's always something going on because we see their mess online. Like
there's MS.
Exactly.
Okay, I get that. I just want people to not comfort themselves by telling themselves that someone else might be living a bad life. Because if it's like when I start popping, I'll be popping for real. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm popping, like I'll be country to country to country, living my best life. That is not fake. That I'm doing that shit for real. I feel like I've reached the point whereby if I'm not even happy about something, I never even post it. Like I could go somewhere. There's so many times I go to places and I never post that.
No, I'll be saying the same thing. I go places I just don't even like.
Yeah.
Which I start doing that though because I do be having some good times places.
I've been having some good times.
But I like to enjoy the moment. I like to have to be in the moment. But at the same time, I'm like, dang, I should have really like recorded or posted that moment. But at the same time, I'm like, I had a good time though.
Yeah,
like, a lot of times when I go out with my friends, like I just go out have a good time, and I just chill the fire. I don't really think of recording anything. I just kind of like even though we have a great time and things are popping, it's fun. But I just don't really like. I don't know. I just kind of don't record everything I see.
Sometimes it's just good for the memories. So because there was a time that I used to post every single thing. And then, as the years went by, just like sometimes I'll post stuff, sometimes I just won't post stuff. But I do be having a good time behind the scenes.
Yeah, don't get twisted, bro. I'm not at home twiddling my thumbs, bro.
Yeah, I'm not that. Yeah, that is not the thing. That is not the case. So.
Totally. But then it asks, is my opinion swayed or have I noticed a change in my personality using social media? I feel for sure. I feel my opinion, like even with the whole Lil Tay situation. Like people said she was dead. Turns out she's not even dead. But people were going in a frenzy. Even me. I was arguing with some of my friends last night on the game about is Lil Tay dead.
That is crazy.
My thing is like no one really cared about Lil Tay until yesterday.
Until they heard that she's dead.
And then now all of a sudden.
So what was the argument about? Was it like, this person?
So basically the argument was that people believed that she was dead, and they were like, "Oh well, there's no police report, there's no death record. If she was really dead, they would have came out with it already."
Or and her family would have
but her family made a statement on her Instagram. They were like, "Oh, unfortunately, Lil Tay died and her brother."
So maybe they thought she was dead.
So I said, bro, why would their family lie about something like that? That's how I was like, even though I said there's no police report about it yet, I'm like. She's not that famous to where it would be like public record. You know what I mean? She's just like, she's 14 years old.
Yeah.
Like she's not that famous.
Yeah.
But they were saying like, whether she was famous or not, the police would be investigating her death if she did die. And I was like.
Why would they do that?
Because even if like I said, police investigate every death.
Oh, okay.
So that's they were saying. And plus, if someone dies, they have to have a death record or a death certificate.
Okay.
So people were like, there's no death certificate. The police aren't investigating it. Her manager is saying that he can't speak on it. Her dad said he can't speak on it. So, but they're like, if she was dead, all four of those things would have already happened by now.
Okay.
So I was like, we don't really know. We're just waiting to see.
Okay.
So and then it turns out, today
this person is alive.
She's alive. Her and her brother are both alive.
I feel like they could have been trolling.
That's they said. They said their social media account got hacked, or they said compromised.
They could have been hacked. Okay.
It got compromised.
I feel like people these days, they are going the absolute most to like get attention, and so that could have gotten that girl the attention that she wanted. Because this other girl that lied about being abducted.
That black girl, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I said I wasn't really on her case like that.
I didn't check anything about it. It was there. It was all over the place. So I got a hold of the news, and I was just like, if you were lying about getting abducted, you're a mess, a whole mess.
And now you're going to jail.
Now you might potentially.
You had the whole internet.
The whole internet.
Looking for you.
You had the whole internet.
And you were at home.
You were at home.
Kicking
lying in your bed.
Duh.
In your lies. Your bed of lies. Yeah.
Can't be trusted.
Okay. Anyway, so before we get into the secrets that I wanted to read out, quickly, I think I've asked you this question before, but I'm going to ask you again because I think that episode never aired. Okay? Because one thing about this podcast, it might air, it might not air.
Literally. Literally. Something just might not see the light of
Something
day.
just, a bomb might just pop by and it just never happens. But anyway, what would you do if your nudes got leaked out on the internet? Like, let's say, for whatever reason, your nudes are on the internet. What would you do?
And what can you do?
What can you do?
What can you do, bro?
All press is good press.
All press is good press, bro. What can you do? I don't feel like a lot of people, they be like, oh, I'll kind of lean into it and start. I'll kind of just wait for it to blow over, I guess. I would
never, ever, ever, ever wait for that shit to blow off. But if that ever happened, not that it should ever happen, because that is a problem. I wouldn't allow the internet to make a fan out of me, because I'm going to do that shit by myself. Because if we're going to trend, we're going to trend properly.
This is sense that I'm going to get to it. I'm going to start
get to
cooking
it before all of you get to it. I'm going to be like, well, they're out. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Since I'm making a public statement.
And public statement, content, and merch will come out the next
Sam, you're putting your dick on a t-shirt?
No, we're not doing that. But we're gonna come out with the merch saying, oh, yes, my nudes came out. We're gonna because one thing I'm gonna think business.
This makes sense that yes, that's my dick.
Yes. So you heard that. So I was trending on the internet.
Duh.
That is gonna be on the.
Since that my dick is trending.
Trending on the internet. So it's like, if that happened, that is embarrassing. But I would never use that to. That wouldn't be my pain. That would be for you to laugh at, and I would be laughing at the corner. I'll start a business, and I'm gonna move on.
Since I'm laughing,
you are laughing. I'm laughing louder. That's what it's gonna be.
I'm laughing louder.
That is, I will always have the last laugh, and the
this
world
is
is the loudest.
If y'all in the comments laughing, I'm reposting your comments.
I'm reposting. I'm tagging you. I'm posting you on my story.
I'm like, that was hilarious.
Because one thing about me, I'm not even petty, but I can take it there.
He can. Yo.
Once in a while.
He can.
No. First of all, calm down. Don't do
I'm agreeing with you.
No.
Don't do too much. I'm disagreeing with you.
That's not.
I disagree with you. He's right. He can be petty.
No. Anyway, moving on. What would you do if you, let's say, do you think you would have survived during the slavery times? I feel like I would never have survived. My time would have been short-lived.
The thing is, no. If I was like born back then, and I like if it wasn't Bashar going back in time. If it was me going back in time, I would definitely not survive.
Because
I would definitely not survive. So I would be like, bro, there's no way you're beating me.
Thank you.
Like you stink.
That
you're not wearing deodorant. I know you're not. This is the 1800s. You stink.
I would take that whip. Because the last thing I would do is whip you before I die.
But
that is
Sam, the thing is, like, you say that, people try to do that, and they put you like a hole. Like, they put you in the hole. Basically, it's like a tin hole, and they put you in there, and it'd be hot, and basically you sweat. You like, Sam, you don't want to be in that hole, bro.
Like, look, like I said, I will always have the last laugh, so I will plan that shit. I will at least plan my death.
So if you're not, how you gonna plan it?
First of all, the headmaster of the slavery, I will walk into your house. Before I die, at least I will torture you.
So you think you're gonna get alone time with him to torture him?
I will find you. Because one thing about there's always loopholes in this.
See, I love how the African comes and said that he gonna beat slavery.
There's always loopholes.
You're not gonna beat slavery. So.
I might not beat it, but for my justification, at least I died while I made you in some pain.
This is sense that I'm dying. I'm going out fighting.
I'm going out with it. I'm not going down with it.
Nah, bro. I'm keeping my head low. I'm just gonna work for Harriet Tubman. I'm like, just gonna find me Harriet. just come and find me. When she gets here, I'm leaving with you.
Hey, Miss Harriet.
Hey.
Okay, so let's get into some of the confessions that I have. Hopefully, these would be interesting. You know, I am 40 and a single dad. Over the last year, I blew up 10K account borrowed money.
He blew up?
He blew up 10K of borrowed money.
Okay.
I am hiding right now.
You see, he's a single dad?
So yeah, he's a single dad, and he's
hiding with your kids?
I don't know why he's hiding or what he's hiding from, but you need to figure out your situation with your kids.
I think he might have had like a loan shark or something.
He might have gotten a loan, but 10K. I feel like you could pay back 10K. That is not that bad. This is not 100K. You could figure 10K, Bushari. You could pay that back. You need to come out of hiding. That is not that. If it's like maybe 100K, that's like you know
like that. But the ticket, it's not
it's
bad.
Doable. It's doable.
You should. Yeah. You got a job.
You have a child. You need to look out for a child.
Multiple kids, I'm assuming.
He has multiple kids. But one thing about me, if I had kids or if I have kids, I will literally die trying to help those kids out. So, yeah, I would just...
Would you go to jail for your kids?
Absolutely not.
What?
You do the crime, you do the goddamn time. Okay? Because you won't be out here doing drugs and then now I'm going to have to come and do the time for you. I'm living my best life. I mean,
but you would die for them, or you want to do?
I would die for them because if I needed to.
Like what situation?
Like let's say if you need like a kidney, I'll give you my kidney for sure.
You know what's crazy, bro? Speaking of parents getting a kidney, my dad told me this story one time. When he was in the Virgin Islands, his friend, he drank a lot.
Okay.
A real bad drinking problem, and he smoked a lot.
Okay.
And his heart started failing, right?
Oh.
Heart started giving out. So he went to the hospital, finna die. He needed a heart transplant.
Okay.
His mom was a candidate. His mom heart was like a great heart. So she had a transplant, and she died right next to her son.
That is crazy.
And then they transplanted her heart.
That is insane.
And then he was like, okay, he had a new heart, new life,
new person,
new outlook on life, did it all over again.
That is
and
insane.
Died.
So you know what's funny? This kind of happened with Selena Gomez. So basically, Selena Gomez had a heart transplant. So not a heart transplant, sorry. She had lupus. So
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, so one of her kidneys was failing, or both of her kidneys. I'm not sure about that. But basically, she needed kidney transplant. And her best friend, I think her name's Garcia or something like that. She was on...
Oh, yeah, I do remember this now.
Yeah, she was on Gornish. So her best friend, donated one of her kidneys to Selena. But then there was one time Selena was on TikTok. She was like drinking. I think she was drinking I don't think she was drinking alcohol, but it looked like a cocktail, mocktail, something like that. Okay, so her best friend was like, okay, well that's irresponsible of you. I gave you a whole kidney and then now you're drinking. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So basically, her best friend unfollowed her. It was a whole situation. Like the whole internet was going.
Yeah.
They were going back and forth talking about, well, Selena's not a good friend, blah 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 blah. But then my thing is, if you give someone your kidney or your heart, when you give someone something, whatever they do with what you give them,
it's their business.
So if I give you a kidney and you go out of your way and start drinking and live recklessly, right. I did my part. You just did what you wanted to do.
But she had lupus, not liver failure. Like she wasn't dying because she drank too much. She had lupus.
But when you have one kidney, you are literally surviving off one kidney. So anyway, I guess it was just a concern from the people, like, you should be more concerned with your health.
Nah. Selena, live your best life, girl. Do it up.
Live your best life.
My own thing with that, the guy who had his mom's heart, that's crazy.
Like your mom was literally living in you.
Your mom is literally in your chest.
She was like, Mom, we'll die together. We'll die together, mother.
He said, man,
I drink. Oh, you know what? Another person we never talked about. What? Angus, the guy from Euphoria. The guy that died not so long ago.
Oh, yeah.
He was a topic not so long ago.
It was.
Yeah. Anyway, so Angus, he was on Euphoria. Apparently he was greatly loved. People loved him.
Literally.
And the situation with him was that he overdosed. That was the cause of his death.
That's what it was.
The cause of his death was that he overdosed. So he was on before that. Okay, before that he was still like on like he was on some drugs or whatever. Allegedly, he was on some drugs, and then he stopped. He started going to rehab, blah blah blah. But then his dad died, so he kind of overlapsed and then went back.
Relapsed. I figured it was like suicide something because his dad. I figured it was suicide.
Yeah,
but I don't know if it. But then again, it kind of is suicide if you overdose. So that's what I figured it was. But I didn't want to, because I said, But that's really tragic though.
That was tragic.
Like a lot of people, I said. He was in the new season Euphoria. He had a bright future.
He had a bright future, and then people were saying like, "Oh, but Euphoria somehow promotes, drug use and stuff like that." So So like it wasn't that great for him being on the show, knowing that outside the show he was already also on rehab. So which I do get, but then again I would say like, whoa. All these movies promote something. Like some of these movies promote, explicit sexual content. So it's like, can you really blame the show? Like,
you can't. But I think remember people were blaming the show for underage drinking, and like drugs in high school. They said they were promoting that, but I'm like,
they're just showing things that actually do happen. So
because y'all know good and well. People were doing drugs in high school
and
before
they're gonna
the
do
show,
it regardless before
and they're gonna
the
do
show.
it anyway. I did see this video the other day though of this high school teacher. No, this is an elementary school teacher. She they be like collecting puff bars and stuff like the nicotine from their students. Bro, they're like a giant Walmart bag full of like those puff bars from an elementary school.
Elementary school, that's not good.
I was like,
these kids are doing.
I was like, what the heck?
We were jumping on people's trees. That's what we was doing at
elementary. I was like, bro, that's crazy,
mind
bro.
you, because at that age, I think when you're in elementary school, you're in between like 0 to like 12 years, 13 years. You're young, okay. You're not thinking, oh, let me try this hardcore drug. You're just thinking like a kid.
Literally.
So these kids of nowadays, I'd be like, you guys are doing too much. You're doing way too much.
But then again, it'd be like the parents too, bro. Like you don't know what your kid is bringing to school.
You know what? But my thing is like you can't always blame parents because kids are gonna do what they want to do.
Always blame parents.
I would never ever blame a parent.
I think
for
you
how
always
a
blame
kid
a kid.
turns out. Never.
Who else are you supposed to blame?
Bushari, you choose your own path. Your kids look
as grown adults, yeah, but as a child,
you can discipline your kid as much as you can. But if they wanna do something, they're gonna do it no matter what, whether in the house or out of the house. So as a parent, you can tell your kid don't do this, and then it's really just up to your kid's choice. Whether they are 2, 3, 4, they're gonna do whatever they want.
I think it's 100% the parents' fault. I think how a kid turns out 100% the parents' fault. No. I do think in very few circumstances, if it's not the parents' fault, because sometimes your child is a crazy kid. So you might just have a sociopathic kid. He might just be a murderer,
that's what
and you can't change
you
that. But my thing is this: but if I'm over here saying, if I'm in my kid's in elementary school, and my kid's smoking cigarettes, and my kid is cussing and arguing with people, like that's 100% my fault. Like that's 100% the raising of my child. Because even with me, like my parents, they raised me like I did stupid stuff as a kid,
right?
But I'm an adult now. I've never been in jail. I've been in trouble. It's because of how my parents raised me. Like, and you can tell kids and adults who didn't get raised well, and how you can obviously tell. And then you look at the kid or the adult, look at the parents, they're the same freaking way.
Okay.
They're the same way.
You're saying.
Yeah, I said now there are some exceptions, of course. But I think 95%, or as I said, 9% of the time, how your kid turns out is like the parents' fault for sure, or the parents have something to do with it. Because even people be like, oh, like people say like girls have like daddy issues, or kids have or boys have mommy issues.
Okay.
Like I said, that issue, those traumas, are from the way that parents raise that kid. 100%.
All the time.
I said not 100% of the time.
I mean, I do think parents do play a role in
because who else would raise that kid?
No one will raise that kid. But when you raise the kid, you should also remember that kid is an individual. that will make their choices as they grow in life. So I have seen the perfect parents that they're for their kid, they support their kid, they took their kids to church, and those kids still turned around and did whatever the fuck they wanted. And I have seen kids that grew up with parents that are horrible, they drink, they are abusive, and they still turned out great. There's so many people in the industry that have abusive parents. They drink, they did, and the kids still turned out great. So it's like, sometimes your parents do play a role in how you grow up or how you end up, but not all the time.
But even when you say you think they're perfect parents, you don't know who the parents are behind closed doors. Like you may think that parent is like the best parent ever, but behind closed doors, it's something like I can't even think of a world where a parent would not have a hand or wouldn't have a strong hand in raising a child, because we can see things like that. We can see parents, like we can say that parents are bad parent because they smoke or drink or whatever, but in real life, like when it comes down to it, that parent could be supportive. That parent could be anything. But that's why, like I said, the only people who can really tell if a parent's a good parent to someone is the siblings or the kids themselves can tell. Because like I said, because even with like sometimes like with like my siblings, like I can tell, like, cause I see how my parents raised me, how my parents raised my sister Odyssey, my parents raised my sister Jocelyn, Jada, and Ayana. And listen, they are different parents with every single one of us.
Every kid is different.
Exactly. But even as they get older, they're different people. They're different parents. So and I can see how we're all a little bit different because of how our parents raised us. Like we're all just a little bit different.
Well, that is bound to happen, Bashari. Like not.
Of course, yeah, of course.
All of you are gonna turn out different. Now, parents can be problematic sometimes. Because it's like you treat one kid differently and then you treat the other kid differently. That's a problem. Because it's like you let your other kids do the absolute most, but then you have expectation for this other kid, like a high expectation, and be like, oh yeah, I expected more from you. But how come you don't expect more from James? He's a crackhead. You know what I'm saying?
Because he gave up on James. I gave up on James. James is a failure.
So in that aspect, I think they can be chaotic. But when you grow up, there's at some point in your life, you have to stop blaming your parents for how your life.
Of course, 100%. That's something like, once the child turns like 15, like 15.
Let's say 18, 21. They actually become an adult.
I feel like 15, 16 is where the child was like, where at that point, like,
they have their own mind.
Yeah, they're going to start having their own mind at that point. 18, once they become like adults and everything, like I said, at that point, you got to hope that how you raise that kid is going to pan out. That shit. It's gonna pan out because, as I said, a lot of people, they blame their parents forever. They'll be like, oh, but like I said, they're like, because my parents gave me this kind of trauma. And don't get me wrong, trauma exists. People have trauma. But you cannot be 36 years old still blaming your mama.
Parents. You have to.
Of why you have shitty relationships.
Yeah.
And why your parents have shitty relationships. Like, you can't keep blaming your family for things like that. Like, your parents. Because you're a grown up now.
You're grown.
Like, you got to live the rest of your life blaming your mom because you can't keep a man. Or blaming your dad because you can't keep a girl. Because you don't know how to stop cheating. Because you saw your dad cheating your mom. Like, come on, bro. You're 27.
Okay.
You can't. Come on.
Yeah. I absolutely get that. So, it's
a slippery slope. But then again, listen, we don't have kids.
We don't have kids.
We don't know what it's like to be a parent.
Yeah, because look, when you have your own child,
it's different. It's different. I know it has to be.
Because I've seen like how you see somebody somebody can be strict and whatever, or like they'll be like, oh, you can't mess with me, and then when they have a kid, that kid will mess with you. So it's like
I would never let a kid talk to me like that.
Oh, they will talk to you like that, and you will fall.
Yeah, what even people like, oh, your kid's so spoiled, they're little brats.
It's
then you get a girl.
Then
you get a girl, now you're like, oh well, Give her the candy. Like, come on.
You'd be like, I can't believe you guys let your kids, stay up night. Or I can't believe you guys have I can't believe you guys let your kids have iPads. My kids are getting iPads because what you're not going to do is disturb me while I'm watching my TV. You are getting that iPad, and how it affects you, you can blame Jesus.
Oh no, I'm putting up parental controls for sure. I'm parental control. Like, listen, my little sister, she don't even have an Instagram yet, and she's like almost 15.
Yes.
No, she's still 16 this year.
Who, your sister?
Ayana, yeah.
My youngest. She just doesn't care because if she really wanted, she would get it.
No, my parents told her no.
If she really wanted an Instagram, she would get an Instagram.
Parents told her no, and guess
she
what?
Could have,
and she respects my parents.
She could have a whole Finsta.
She respects my parents. She don't got Instagram.
Okay.
But that's the thing. Like I said, my parents put that rule on her because, as I said, Instagram, TikTok, all those things can influence your kids.
They can.
And like as I said, you may not think so because you're an adult, but it influences you. So
that was that.
Watch out for your kids, bro. Watch out for your kids.
Do you want me to read out one more secret, then we head out?
Yeah, we can do one more.
Okay, so I am an athletic trainer, and I sniff my football players' underwear before I do the laundry. Like every time this person is doing the laundry for the football players, they sniff the underwear. That is not a good thing.
Okay.
That is a problem.
So look, somebody heard it online the other day. People are like, if you see something weird online that you don't understand, you don't get, that means it's a part of a fetish that you're just not a part of. That's what that means. If you see something online that you don't get, doesn't make any sense, you're like, what the heck? It means it's a part of a fetish that you're just not a part of.
Okay.
And you know what? That's what this is for sure.
That's what this is.
This is a fetish that I'm just not a part of.
Sniffing, but people do be sniffing their own boxes.
Their own boxers?
Yeah.
To see if they're clean or not.
To see if they're clean.
Yeah.
But
that's me.
But that is like someone else's, because I feel like when
the whole team. But after the game.
But maybe if like the number, like, oh, I know this, and you have the crush. Maybe they have a crush on that person. Like, let me just sniff him real quick. Let me just.
She said, "Oh, he didn't shower today."
Oh, they'll be like, "Oh, Odell Beckham James."
Maybe she has a favorite scent.
Because I know she's not smelling every single one of them.
She might be. Maybe
she could.
I mean,
you know what's funny?
It could be a guy, even.
It could be anyone.
It could be a dude. It could be anyone. It's anonymous.
Who?
It's anonymous. It's too anonymous.
I feel like people, when they're alone, they do the most outrageous things in the world. Like, thank God not everyone has like cameras 24/7, because the things people do, and like you're the real you when you're by yourself.
Since who are you when no one else is looking?
When no one else is looking, and it's very questionable.
It's
like because people do like Bushari.
Do you have an example, Sam?
I'm just saying no. Don't be saying do I have an example, because you be by yourself.
No, I just thought you kicking real hard. I'm just assuming you might have something that come to mind right now. That's all. Because is anything in particular saying you wanna bring to you can be vulnerable here. You can be honest here.
Whenever I speak, it's always in third person. It's never me. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, But all I'm saying is you be farting. Oh,
I don't fart.
Bushari, let's not do this.
I don't. I fart in the bathroom exclusively.
That's what you do when you're by yourself.
I guess. But that's a bathroom.
You know what's funny? When you're by yourself and you fart and you just know how deadly that shit is. It's like,
sister, what is in that?
I can't believe that came out of me.
Have you ever crop dusted someone, Sam?
Have I
crop dusted somebody?
Like you fart and then you leave?
Yeah.
In class a couple of years ago.
Oh no!
It's like when you.
Have you ever blended fart on somebody else?
When?
You ever blended on somebody else?
Like on somebody's face?
No, I blamed it. Like you farted and then be like, that wasn't me.
It's funny because I used to be like the quiet kid at the time. So it's like, what I would do is no, not what I would do.
Nah, it's too late, Sam.
No.
Be honest, Sam. You can't be honest here, Sam.
No.
This is too anonymous.
This is anonymous. This is me putting myself on the line here.
It's okay, put yourself on the line. So now we know it's you. So
it was a friend in class. Okay. This person did that, and it was a crazy time. Okay. So basically, what happened was, This person moved from their actual seat and then moved to another part of the class, farted there, and then came back this side. And then everyone was like, "No, it was you." They started blaming that person. Okay,
they spotted.
They said it was you, and sometimes you really just can't hold it in. Like it has to go. The fart has to go.
Sam, Sam, not me. In high school, Sam, I'm holding that shit in. You're not finna catch me, Sam. I would be sitting in class sometimes. I would hold it in so bad, Sam. My stomach would start making noises.
Yeah,
it'd be like a reverse fart.
It comes.
If you reverse fart, my stomach, I'm like, you're not gonna catch me. And then sometimes I would remember I'd be like taking a test or something. You'd be so quiet in class, and then your stomach start making noises. I'm like.
You need to calm down, and you be holding it. You squeezing your butt cheeks.
Sometimes I'd be like writing, and I just couldn't move a muscle.
You couldn't move a muscle.
Because I'm about to have just sitting there
like any movement.
Sam, if someone touched me,
it is a wrap.
Sam,
that is a wrap.
The Kraken has been unleashed.
Poof. And sometimes it's just poof. The damage
is astronomical.
Astronomical because it's like. That cannot be me. I'm better than this.
Sometimes I'd be in class and I'd be looking around at people, like when someone would fart in class, and you just heard it, you're like,
come on now.
Sam, everyone start laughing at you.
That is
like they're turning red, they're scared, they're nervous. The smell is coming, they know it is. Hard time, Sam.
I once peed in class on an exam. Because when in class.
You do what?
Peed.
In class? On yourself?
On myself, and I was like this, Bashari. If these people know.
Sam, no, you didn't, Sam.
I was
just yes, I did.
Like, not leaving the
you
the
couldn't leave
until the exam is over. So I was there shaking. I was like, it just came out.
Sam!
Because I was wearing the trousers, so the pee was like.
Were they khakis? Were they like brown?
They were blue.
Okay, so you had a little better.
So I had if they were light, because blue is like that dark blue.
Yeah.
So someone weird it. So
but if they were like khaki, like brown, like this.
Listen, that would have been because they would have left the mark.
Yeah.
So I was sitting in that exam room, Bashari, and I needed to go to the bathroom. I was shaking. I couldn't even write my exam properly. I was just there. I was in tears. I was like.
Please.
And it just came out. The pee went in my shoes. I was just like, as soon as the exam was over, I just handed that shit and I ran to going home. I said, I'm not talking. You know how people do the talking after the exam? Like, let's talk about this. But I went straight home. Hey, stop it. I'm going home.
Sam, we gotta wrap this up, bro.
Anyway,
we should have said that, bro. That's crazy.
That was.
Thank you guys for tuning in this week to Too Anonymous. It's been your host, bro. Sam, that's going to be a mod all day.
That is crazy.
Sam, peeing yourself.
That happened. No one found out. I'm just happy I could talk about this now without having to deal with the embarrassment then.
Oh, my God. As said, guys, thank you for tuning in to Anonymous Podcast. It's me, your host, Bashari.
I have been your co-host, Big Sam.
You guys, be sure to like, comment, subscribe on the video. We'll see you guys next week.
Next time.
Pissy Sam, bro. Who would have thought?